Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. What's going on with Aston Martin? A tough start to 2025 and eyes set on the future. How's it going, race fans? Let's talk about a team that's been raising a few eyebrows this season, Aston Martin. After the Miami Grand Prix, their position in the Constructors' Championship is less than ideal, just 7th place with a mere 14 points scored. For a team that started 2023 with podiums and high expectations, that's a dramatic slide. And it's clear the situation is frustrating everyone, especially Fernando Alonso. The Spanish veteran, known for his sharp feedback and high standards, hasn't held back. Week after week, he's been openly demanding improvements from the team. But here's the catch. The team itself has already signaled that not much more can be done with the current car. In fact, most of their resources and focus are already being redirected, not toward the 2025 car, but to 2026, when Formula One will enter a new era with sweeping regulation changes. One key figure at the center of this pivot is Adrian Newey, the legendary F1 designer who recently joined Aston Martin. But don't expect him to jump in and fix the 2025 car. According to team sources, Newey will be dedicating his full attention to the 2026 Challenger, refusing to spend time trying to patch up a car that's already considered a lost cause. That said, the team isn't completely abandoning updates for this year. There will be new parts coming, but not for the reasons you might think. As revealed by Aston Martin team principal Mike Crack, starting with the Monaco Grand Prix on May 25th, the team plans to install prototype components on the 2025 car, parts originally designed for the 2026 machine. Why? It's all about data validation. The team wants to ensure the numbers from their wind tunnel and simulations align with real-world behavior on track. This approach is seen as essential after past disappointments where cars looked strong in testing but underperformed during races. By testing 2026 tech early, albeit in modified form, they hope to avoid those costly misalignments and ensure the next generation of Aston Martin is competitive from the outset. In short, Aston Martin has effectively written off the rest of 2025 to serve a bigger goal, building a winning car for the future. The second half of this season will essentially be a live testing ground, with Alonso and Lance Stroll tasked with gathering as much feedback as possible. It's a risky move, sacrificing short-term results in hopes of long-term glory. But with Adrian Newey on board, expectations are high. Still, the current season won't be easy. The drivers must remain focused, despite knowing that podium finishes are unlikely and the team's priority isn't even this championship. It's a tough ask for competitors like Alonso, but the payoff could be immense if everything goes to plan. So what do you think? Will Aston Martin's strategy of using the current car as a lab for 2026 tech pay off in the long run? Can Newey work his magic and deliver a game-changing machine next year? Or is the team risking too much by giving up on the present? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, stay tuned for more updates as this bold strategy unfolds. The week has started with high drama in the world of Formula One, and the spotlight is once again on Alpine. According to a report from the race, the French team is seriously reconsidering its current driver lineup, and Jack Doohan may be on the verge of losing his seat before the Imola Grand Prix. This comes after yet another disappointing weekend for Doohan, who was forced to retire on the very first lap of the Miami Grand Prix following contact with Esteban Ocon. Unfortunately for the young Australian, this wasn't an isolated incident. His recent performances have been plagued by mistakes, crashes, and an overall lack of results. With the team desperate for points, Alpine's patience seems to be running out. Meanwhile, his teammate Pierre Gasly has been more consistent, quietly outperforming Doohan and doing a better job of extracting performance from the car, even if Alpine hasn't exactly had a championship contending package this season. That performance gap, combined with Doohan's early exits, has intensified internal discussions about a potential mid-season driver swap. Sources at the race claim that during the Miami GP weekend, there was already serious movement behind the scenes. Multiple insiders hinted that Doohan's days in the car were numbered and that Franco Colapinto, currently serving as a reserve driver, was being lined up to take over as early as the next race. This wouldn't be the first time Colapinto's name was linked to a full-time seat. Just a few weeks ago, a major sponsor of the Argentine driver, the CEO of YPF, accidentally revealed in an interview that Colapinto would be debuting at Imola, even before any official statement from Alpine. That moment, caught on a live broadcast, only added fuel to the rumors. Adding more credibility to the speculation, Flavio Briatore, now acting as executive advisor at Alpine, has reportedly been pushing hard for Colapinto's promotion. Briatore is said to be convinced that the young Argentine has far more potential than Doohan, and that he can deliver better results immediately. And now, we may have confirmation. In a last-minute update, journalist Will Buxton reported that Jack Doohan has already been notified by Alpine that he will not continue with the team. Colapinto will be behind the wheel at Imola, making his official Formula One debut in front of a packed Italian crowd. A high-stakes environment for a rookie, no doubt. So what does this mean for Jack Doohan? Unless another team picks him up quickly, this may well be the end of his F1 career, at least for now. It's a brutal reminder of how competitive and unforgiving Formula One can be, where opportunities are rare and results are everything. For Colapinto, the challenge will be immediate. He must prove Alpine right and justify the decision to make a mid-season change. With a car that's still struggling for consistency, it won't be easy. But it's also the opportunity of a lifetime for the young talent from Argentina, a chance to show he belongs among the best. And now we ask you, do you agree with Alpine's decision to replace Doohan? Is Colapinto ready for Formula One? Or is the team moving too quickly, risking the development of both drivers? Let us know in the comments. One thing's for sure, Imola just got a whole lot more interesting. The world of Formula One continues to deliver off-track drama as much as it does action on the circuits. And this time, the tension involves two major teams, Red Bull Racing and McLaren. Following a series of strong performances by McLaren, Red Bull has raised serious concerns about the legality of their rival's rear brake cooling system, prompting the FIA to step in and investigate. Over the past few weeks, sources close to Red Bull have reported growing frustration within the team regarding what they claim to be potential irregularities in McLaren's car design. According to Red Bull engineers, the British team may be using an unusually advanced method of cooling the external surface of their rear brake drums, achieving a level of thermal control that appears almost impossible for the rest of the grid. Red Bull's suspicions stem from data they collected over multiple race weekends. The team reportedly presented thermal imaging comparisons, contrasting the temperature distribution on McLaren's rear brakes with those on other cars, including their own RB21. The images allegedly revealed striking temperature anomalies, extremely cold spots on McLaren's brake assemblies surrounded by much hotter regions. This pattern raised red flags for Red Bull, who suspected some kind of concealed cooling mechanism might be at play. But why is this such a big deal? In modern Formula One, brake temperatures play a critical role in tire performance. If a team can keep brake heat from transferring into the wheels, they can significantly reduce tire degradation, a critical performance factor in both qualifying and race conditions. And McLaren's recent form, especially in tire management, has been exceptional, leaving many to wonder how they're achieving such consistent pace and tire longevity. Following the Miami Grand Prix, the FIA took Red Bull's concerns seriously and initiated a targeted technical inspection of the McLaren MCL38, focusing primarily on the rear brake assembly. The scrutineering process included a detailed examination of the brake drums, ducts, and surrounding components, with FIA officials looking for anything that might violate the current regulations. After extensive inspection and technical analysis, the FIA has now issued its conclusion. McLaren's car is fully compliant with the rules. No illegal systems, hidden components, or unauthorized design features were found. Everything, according to the governing body, is within the limits defined by the technical regulations. Although the FIA's decision puts a formal end to Red Bull's protest, it's expected that the official documentation detailing the inspection will be released to all teams this coming weekend during the Imola Grand Prix, likely after Saturday's scheduled team briefing with the FIA. The ruling does two things. It validates McLaren's recent technical advancements and quiets suspicions, at least for now. However, in a sport where innovation constantly treads a fine line between brilliance and bending the rules, many fans and insiders are still wondering if this issue is truly closed. Red Bull has not made any further public statements since the FIA's verdict, and McLaren, unsurprisingly, has remained confident and unapologetic about their performance. With tensions running high and a fiercely competitive title race unfolding, any advantage, real or perceived, can trigger controversy. And in this case, Red Bull's attempt to challenge McLaren's ingenuity has only highlighted just how closely the teams monitor one another in the relentless quest for performance.